Hello, goddesses. Hello, beauties. Happy Monday. Welcome to today's live session. I wanted to just pop on here very quickly because there is something I want to share, and there is something I really thought would be really important to kind of just get off into a conversation here and perhaps instigate an awakening of some sort in some ways. Hello, beautiful, beautiful sister. All your hearts are popping out. I love that. And anyone else, if you're here live with me, thank you so much. And please let me know if you're on the replay as well. I'd love to just connect with your energy as well. Thank you. All right, so today I'm swooping in here because there's something really close to my heart. As you all probably know, if you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Li Ying, and I am a Chadao ceremonial keeper, and I also mentor women, beautiful multidimensional leaders who are here to really embody their own vortex of stillness so that they can live on purpose in their authentic power. One of the things that I talk a lot about is this beautiful stillness, this stillness within us that is so important, so non-negotiable in everything we do. And my mission and perhaps my passion is really to show you and also to guide you, and this happens in mentorship, in deeper depth of guidance and proximity. And that is that we want to come from a sense of stability within us. This stillness that we talk about, it isn't about just sitting here and meditating and doing nothing. This stillness that we are talking about flows with intuition. This stillness that we talk about, it is guided by alignment, an alignment with our true nature, an alignment with what I call the Tao. Because the Tao, as some of you may be aware, and I feel like if you're in my world, you probably know this already, the Tao is nothing that we can really describe. It's too big for us to describe. It is the great mystery. It is something that we call perhaps the source or the universe in other ways of speaking. And I want to share that my life has transformed so deeply the moment when I started to allow and give full permission for this Tao to flow right through me, to take me over. Because if you are anything like me, you are an artist, you are a masterpiece, and you are the creator, the director, and you are also the creation. So what does that mean? That means there are many dimensions to us. You know, we are the creator of our life, right? We are the artist. We paint the strokes of this masterpiece that is also us. So in effect, you know, our reality reflects back to us the kind of strokes we've been doing on our masterpiece. What have we been painting? What colors have we been using? The whole dimension is reflected in this reality. And so a lot of times I tend to hear a lot about, stay zen, find your way, get into alignment, get into, this abundant state of mind, blah, 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 blah. And I get that. I love that. I think there's a lot of great teachings in that. And I want to relate to you. My personal journey has been able to really, really find its own expansion in a big way when I realized that everything comes down to how we are doing the work ourselves. Let me explain. Whether you have a practice, whether you have whatever it is that you do in your life, that you find alignment, that you do to do the inner work, your masterpiece, whatever that modality is, the essence that is at the core of it, that holds down all these things that circle around it, the essence is at ease. It's always at ease. It's always at ease. The moment it feels like, there's a resistance or there is some kind of feeling that doesn't feel really like aligned, in that sense of the word at ease, then it merely is a reflection that the mind has come into play. The over-functioning mind, the overthinking mind, the logical mind. This is the mind that I'm talking about. So when that happens, things start to feel really like full of resistance. Things start to feel like, oh, I have to try harder, I have to push harder, I have to start to, do something more. And so many of us fall into that trap of doing more and feeling like we're not doing enough, or feeling like we are not seeing enough, that we're not good enough. And even sometimes the more tricky thing that actually happens when you become successful and so aware, right? And I think I speak to a lot of you here who are at that stage. There is this really tricky way that the mind just kind of trickles in and starts to say things like, maybe I don't need that much. Yes, I've done that much already. Maybe I don't really need that much to survive. No, I don't really need that much to live. And maybe this is good for me enough. Like I'm okay with it. And it's really tricky because at first it comes in that feeling of like, relief. I don't need to try any harder. I don't need to push any harder. I don't need to stretch myself. I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm good where I am. I rinse and repeat. It's the same thing over and over again every day. I hear the same thing. I know what I'm gonna do. I do it easily. This is the moment when I would actually start to look inward and actually ask myself, am I really comfortable here? Because I am actually doing the work of being really, really crystalline. We want to be so crystalline clear. We want to clean things out all the time. It's just like showering. It's just like brushing your teeth. Every single day, I do this non-negotiable. I do this every day. I clean. I want to clean the dust off any part of my being where I can be caught in that tricky place of thinking, this is enough for me. I don't need to do anything more. I don't need anything else in my life. So I want to get down into this. The Zen state of mind is not something you can get. It's not something you turn on and turn off. The Zen state of mind is a being. It's a state of being. The word Zen, it's a state of consciousness. You talk Zen, you walk Zen, you eat Zen. It's with you all the time. So if you ever find yourself in a place where you are kind of separating the way you're being in front of the camera and behind, or where you feel like you have to be a certain something in your business and then a certain something else in your relationship, then I would pose the question, are you truly at the essence at ease? Now, this is a really, really tough question sometimes for some people because, like I said, you can probably feel this if you're in that place. You might have slid into a place where you feel really comfortable in that spot wherever you are. Whether it's a spot where you don't see anything happening, or you are kind of like cruising and you're just kind of like, okay, this didn't work, that didn't work. I'm so good at numbing this to the point where I'm just gonna be here. I don't need anything else more anymore. I've kind of done it. I'm done trying, and I'm done. I'm just happy. But like, let's turn inward and let's go a little bit deeper today together and really ask yourself, like, this is inner peace? Is this inner peace, or is this just numbing myself, right? Inner peace to me feels like the higher self has stepped through. And like I said at the beginning of this live session, I am very, very, very willing and open for Source to take over me, to just take over me, to show me, to guide me. This is what surrender feels like to me. Surrender isn't about, I surrender to that person who harmed me or hurt me and I do whatever they say. Surrender is surrendering and opening up to this guidance from an energy, a source that is so much bigger than who I am and who you are. Because in the moment when you actually do, that is when you are Zen. You become Zen. You become the goddess. You allow that goddess behind the woman that you are to take over. And it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what modalities you're good at, it doesn't matter what certificates you have. It's a state of being, it's a presence. And this is what I'm so passionate about, that I bang on all the time in my live sessions and when I'm working with my clients. It's all about emotional and intuitive mastery. Because if there is no emotional and intuitive mastery, there is no self-mastery. That's when you allow your mind to take over. That's when your mind takes over in so many different ways that you feel like you have no control over your life. That is not being in flow. That is not being in alignment. That is not flowing downstream, as the people who study the Tao says. That's not how it feels like. And I truly know this myself because I've been there and I do this work day in, day out. I never stopped, and I don't stop, and I don't plan to stop. It's an ever evolving journey. That is why it's so important to understand that at this point in your life, you may have something you want, and then you have to understand that once that thing has been fulfilled, that want has been fulfilled, there will always be something else that will come. There will be always another thing and another thing you want. So it's really not about when can I finally make it? When can I finally have gone and done it and I've made it? It's more about how can I be on this journey now and be so present that I am leading with love in this moment right now. I am the leader in this moment right now. Even if it's just being a leader for yourself, how can I be that? And that essence will continue to cultivate and grow and become more and more present, at ease, because you're doing it every day, every moment of your life, because that is who you are. So you've got to get clear on certain things in your life. You want to clear some of the shit out of your house, your life, your body, because you want to make room for all these good things to flow, right? If there's no room, how can energy even be allowed space to grow and expand, or even to flow in, right? So it's really about getting honest with yourself. It really, really is getting honest with yourself. Like, am I afraid to stretch a little further because I'm afraid of disappointment again? Am I protecting myself from hurt and pain and sadness? And therefore, I'm not willing to push a little bit further. I love this saying. I believe I would say originally I read it in one of Osho's books. This saying that the seed is comfortable, the seed is happy, the seed is just right there under the ground. It's just a seed right here. It doesn't have anything. It's protected. It's hard. It's like it's a kernel. It's like it doesn't have any movement. It's happy. When it starts to sprout, it bursts open, and the sprout that is so fragile, literally this tiny little thing, it needs to have the force, the life force, to push through the ground, the rocks and the minerals, the hard surface, to actually rise and go towards the sun. And even when it's going up, it doesn't know where it's going to go, how far it's going to go. It just knows it needs to push, go forward, go up, let's grow, let's expand. And it is that point of that axis of like pushing up that is the hardest. But it pushes anyway. And that is where we get lotuses growing out of the dirt. That's when we get all the beautiful flowers, the daisies, the sunflowers, the beautiful lilies. All of these things, they grow from that depth. And so we want to get clear. We want to have that courage to go deep into our unconscious and start to unveil what is going on there. We want to become so aware of the workings of our minds so that we know that when we are in an illusional, in the illusions of security, I call it, and when we are actually in our evolution. And this is why I love, love, love mentorship. I can't say enough good things about it because mentorship really allowed me to grow, to see things differently with a different perspective, and actually be so fired up and inspired to do what I need to do in days that I don't feel like I can go on. And that's why I love, love, love the idea of mentorship so much that I've created my own mentorship because I want to be that leader that I speak about. I want to create a space for leadership that comes from love, that comes from purpose, that is all about authenticity. We are not here to lie our way through or force our way through. We are not forcing our agenda on anyone. We're here to be the presence, the highest dimension of presence. And some of you might need this wake up call. Are you still stuck at the level of awakening when you're actually so much further than that? Are you still putting up with some bullshit in your life that you probably would be better off just leaving it behind? Clean slate. So it's so important. You know, the essence at the very core of it is at ease, is always at ease. All the practices, the modalities, all the people we have relations with, they all circle around this vortex of stillness, but this vortex is always at ease because you know it's the feeling of home, it's the feeling of the soul that never lies, it's the highest self showing through. And in this physical dimension, if it flows through as love, a cosmic love, not the kind of love that is dependent and codependent on what another person says and reacts. And like, we as leaders, we have to work on ourselves so deeply to understand that we're not here to react. We're here to spearhead and create a difference. The harder the message lands, the more impact it creates. And we must not be in reactive response. We have to be in a state of true stillness so that we flow with intuition. When we flow with intuition, no matter what the circumstances are outside of us, we are in the stillness of it all. We know who we really are. We know how true our message is. We know that it's going to be the cause of alchemy, even when nobody is truly responding yet. Because awakening sometimes for other people takes time. But if you're here on my channel and you're here, you know you've gone through all those toughest times where you're awakening from that seed. So it is time now to take the next step, to aligning with who you really are. Not reacting and attacking or fighting what's beyond us, the circumstances, and trying to change the circumstances, but really changing the dynamic in us, the energy in us, harnessing it so that it becomes so potent within us that our presence says everything. The minute you turn up your volume, everyone's listening. The minute you step into a room, you don't need to play the victim or be the queen or be the loudest in the room, but people just know what you stand for, and they're magnetized. They want to hear. They want to be you. This is what I want you to be. And this is the power of the work of embodying your own vortex of stillness. And I'm so incredibly in awe of the ancient wisdom that I get to carry forward for you and my clients to infuse that in your own way of living. Whoever you are, mother, daughter, CEO, wife, you have it in you. So wake up. Wake the F up. Wake the fuck up from where you're sitting today and take the action, even if it scares you, especially when it scares you. Like, if you are still depending on the circumstances to show you what direction to take, I say wake the fuck up. Wake up. Because their circumstances can change when you change. When you shift, the circumstances change. I can't tell you how many clients of mine say that to me all the time. All the time. And I want you to experience that for yourself, and you'll be mind blown. And it really isn't even about changing the circumstances to begin with. It's about, I'm committed, I'm devoted to myself. My evolution, my involution for evolution. Going so deep within myself that nobody else can tell me to be whoever it is they want me to be, because I'm so clear on who I am. And I come with love. I don't need to fight. I don't need to argue. I don't need to prove anyone wrong. This is the new age of leaders that I'm talking about, and I'm proud to lead. If that sounds like you, DM me for a chat. I would love, love, love to talk to you about mentorship, on how I can support you. You can apply for a one-to-one immersion with me, or you can go into my amazing At Mystery's Gate 1-year mentorship. You get access to all my events and programs, and you also get access to live sessions with me as well. But if you're serious, I honestly think private mentorship is the way to go, because you get my eye on your journey, like one-to-one, personally, guiding you through in every sense of the word. And I'm just so crazy about this work. I'm here to stay. The question is, are you? Are you here to stay the course? To live the best fucking life you ever had? And look back and you say, that was the best life I ever had. That was the biggest risk I ever took, and thank God I did. Because now my life is never the same again. This is something you get to take with you for life. It really is. So your story doesn't start when your transformation starts. Your story starts now, when you choose for it to start now. Say yes to transformation. Say yes to investing in yourself. Say yes to always, always investing in your mind, body, and spirit. Because everything else, wealth, business, love life, all of those things are still circumstantial. When you change here, everything else around you change. This is the true value, the priceless value of transformation, of involution for evolution. Okay? At essence, the true essence is at ease. Remember that. I want that for you. So DM me. Let's have a chat. Let's get you started ASAP. Sending you all so much love. Do the thing that scares you, because that's where your soul is leading you towards. An expansion is your true essence. You are here to expand, my love. Stop sitting. Stop waiting. Stop stagnating. Big kisses. Bye, my love. Mwah!